Kia ora. In today's bulletin, the government's call to South Korea opposing its whaling scientific research has gained cross-party support. The Labour Party say it's the right thing for the government to do, and the Greens say it's good that New Zealand is speaking out strongly against the plan and is being clear in its opposition. And Labour MP Shane Jones believes mining opportunities need to be looked at to increase job opportunities for Māori and the unemployed. He's pointing to offshore iron sand deposits off the west coast of the North Island as an opportunity worth investigating.
It's an example where I think that New Zealand investors, indeed, a New Zealand SOE could have tied up with international investors and created an industry there. There's no reason why an SOE didn't take a punt.
Mana Party leader Honi Harawira says Labour MP Shane Jones is looking at mining from the wrong viewpoint. The Mana leader says Mr Jones seems to have forgotten that Māori are people of the land.
Made no mention of our role in conserving our environment, no mention of the importance of protecting the land so that it can provide for future generations, no mention of any of that sort of stuff.
Ewan McDonald's parents say they are totally at peace with the knowledge of their son's truth. Kerry and Marlene McDonald have spoken publicly for the first time since the acquittal of Scott Guy's murder, saying the not guilty verdict was the right one. They say they are no longer confused and bewildered. The McDonalds say their son has accepted responsibility for his previous crimes and there are no words big enough for him to express his remorse. They say they will continue to give Anna McDonald and their grandchildren their unconditional support. Airlines continue to catch up on delays of up to 5 hours caused by this morning's pea soup-like haze in Auckland City. The departures board at Auckland International Airport reads relax, which is easier said than done, as some frustrated passengers have been delayed for hours. The fog remains particularly heavy in Pukekohe. And it looks like a dream run of falling fuel prices has come to an end. Petrol prices have increased 3 cents today and diesel by 2 cents. The AA's Mark Stockdale says the fuel increase is uncalled for. He says it reflects a rise in commodity prices, but believes oil companies have moved too soon. Waikato police say they've now been contacted by nearly 50 people fleeced by scammers selling cheap, non-existent airfares to Tonga. Police say they're still hunting the fraudsters and want to hear from anyone else caught by the scam. Māori Party co-leader Dr Peter Sharples says culturally competent teachers are needed to prevent Māori students becoming law offenders. MP Te Ururoa Flavel agrees after hearing of the report presented at a youth justice conference this week, saying that 2/3 of young people in custody are Māori. He told New Zealand's Rima that one critical success factor in education is a positive relationship between the teacher and students.
What builds up is a bigger picture around the relationship with students in sports teams and cultural teams, and understanding from teachers about getting closer to their Māori students, how they form relationships, and it's right down to the very basic details of simply saying kia ora to your student in the morning.
A contractor who claims his company drilled up to 200 holes in floors and concrete beams in the CTV building says he told authorities about the work after its collapse. Daniel Morris was a company director of Christchurch firm Knockout Concrete Cutters, which was commissioned to do the work in the late 1990s to install cabling and plumbing. The contractor is giving evidence at today's Royal Commission hearing into why the building collapsed in last year's February's earthquake, claiming 115 lives. The V8 supercars have come full circle. The series is returning to Pukekohe after a 6-year absence, with Auckland Council giving the go-ahead for an annual event. The council is investing $2.1 million annually for 5 years, with an option for a further 5 years. Scientists believe they've captured what looks like the subatomic particle known as the Higgs-Boson, the elusive God particle that gives matter mass and holds the physical fabric of the universe together. On New Zealand's Rima this morning, scientist Jeff Talon said this is a huge tick for science and a huge tick for the human mind.
To my mind, that's astonishing, that God has gifted us with such capacity to be able to unravel the secrets of his astonishing universe. So in my mind, it's all joy, it's all wonderful, it's all exciting.
And it appears our Prime Minister is very popular with Australian business. At a question and answer session during a Trans-Tasman business function in Australia, John Key's been asked if he'd like Australia's top job. John Key laughed and said he's been enjoying his trip so far. The Motor Trade Association says the recession hasn't slowed car sales. Car sales have increased by more than a third since last month compared to June last year. Toyota is still the top-selling car brand, closely followed by Ford and Holden. And that's all from me. Ka kite anō.